Campus sustainability, food waste. We all know that waste has serious impacts on the environment. Every week, it is collected from our homes and then sent away to pollute land and water. In this video, I won't touch on all there is to say about waste, but I will focus on one particular aspect which is surprisingly threatening, and that is food waste. The way in which food is produced and disposed of is a serious sustainability issue that needs to be addressed as we head into an increasingly densely populated era. First, I'll give you a brief explanation of what food waste is, and then we'll head into the literature review, where the main findings of specialists on this issue will be discussed. Then, we'll look at a sustainability initiative that could be implemented at Dawson College to pursue their commitment to being sustainable. Food waste is a term specific for food that is suitable for human consumption but is not consumed, either because it is damaged or disposed of. Food waste occurs at the retail and consumer stages of a product's life cycle, making it different from food loss, which occurs because of problems at harvest or during storage, packaging, and transportation. The literature review looks at the problem from the perspective of economists and sociologists. Each discipline focuses on different aspects, yet both offer interesting solutions. The cost, inequality, and environmental impact are the three main concerns that come as a consequence to wasted food, while valorization, sustainable development, and behavior change are identified as possible solutions. It has been estimated in numerous studies that 1/3 of all the food produced for human consumption goes to waste, equaling roughly 1.3 billion tons. The Food and Agriculture Organization estimated the full cost of food waste at $2.6 trillion. That's an average of $1,600 annually per household in the US. Sociologist Paul van der Werf writes that we are living in a time where there is simultaneously food excess and scarcity. The disparity is unacceptable considering that roughly 11% of the population suffers from starvation on a day-to-day basis. The literature review shows that food waste has a substantial environmental impact, and that is because when it is thrown into the garbage and begins to decompose, it releases greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide and methane, which contribute to the warming climate. The carbon footprint of food produced and not eaten is estimated at 3.3 gigatons. As such, food wastage ranks as the third top emitter after the USA and China. The amount of land needed to produce this food that we do not eat is roughly 1.9 million square kilometers, which is actually the size of Mexico. Valorization of food transforms what would normally be considered waste into something of value. This solution could mean transforming uneaten food into animal feed, good quality fertilizer, or even biofuels. Rerouting food from landfills in this way has environmental and economic benefits. Sustainable development can improve the current food waste situation immensely, since changes can be made at all stages of the production and consumption cycles. Urban agriculture and meat product alternatives are two examples of sustainable solutions that cut down on carbon emissions. Fortunately, these solutions already exist and can be found across the globe. Food wasted in restaurants, schools, hospitals can be avoided by adjusting the amount of food bought and distributed. Businesses and institutions could perform more accurate use of resources by regularly taking into account stock inventory, portion control, effective storage, and ensuring the use of the first in, first out rule. Sociologists have identified behaviors that we are taught which contribute to food waste. People have a tendency to avoid buying blemished food. We are also likely to throw out food once we see that it has gone past its best before date, which is different from its expiration date. Behaviors like these have contributed to around 31% of food wasted at the retail and consumer level in the United States. The best way to get around this issue is to educate people, say sociologists. Awareness campaigns can be introduced through advertising, schools, and grocery stores themselves. The literature review indicates that the most effective way of getting people to change their ways is to show them how much money they could potentially save by cutting down on their food waste. Food insecurity is not exclusive to people living in third world countries. When the population of a country relies on purchasing food, there will be food insecurity. Over 3 million Canadians regularly find themselves in this situation. A new initiative where uneaten food is sent to be recovered once it is not sold in the cafeteria is a great answer for institutions like Dawson College that seek to reduce food waste. To do this, the college would have to maintain partnership with 1 or 2 organizations that would accept regular donations of food. Anytime that Dawson has sufficient excess food that would regularly be sent to the compost bin, a donation basket would be made and the organization contacted. The recuperation of food must be done quickly, for it could not be left at the pickup location for multiple hours without refrigeration. La Table des Chefs, or the Food Exchange Program, made by the Food Banks of Quebec, are 2 great possibilities for partnerships. Both promise to transport, handle, and store food until it can be donated to people in need. A small team devoted to sustaining this project would need to be gathered. It should be composed of cafeteria members, students, and staff. Students interested in sustainability would have a volunteering opportunity to work with an organization who shares the same values. This initiative would tackle the 3 main aspects of the sustainability issue: social, environmental, and economical. It offers people in need with support by providing nutritious pre-cooked food. It would provide Dawson with an additional way to reduce food waste, an issue that the college has been tackling for years. Because the leftovers could be sent to a location in need rather than in the compost, the energy as well as the time and effort put into cooking the food would then still be valued. And economically, the college would be helping local nonprofit organizations by providing useful resources. Food waste is solvable. It is often a matter of inefficiently used resources that we claim have no purpose. Reducing food waste is a step that can and must be taken if our food system is to survive. Because the way in which consumables are currently being manufactured is just not sustainable. It needs to be seen as an issue, not as a regular part of daily life. And the best way to do so is to share the knowledge that we have.